Well, it's
I got lost in Muso land. Where the bloody hell are we? This is kind of Halloween, so this is our kind of Halloween special.
that's why we look like dickheads.
I always look like a dickhead. I'm not sure about you. And this is our friend the devil, along for the ride. And you're here with Jez, Job Zombie, and our special guest today is Lucifer Melhop. Welcome, Lucifer. Join us.
Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you. Yeah, nice touch. Nice touch. Yeah.
Yeah, violent props.
Violence. It's not Halloween without violent props, hey? Yeah. So I think we've got to stick with the red today on the oh shit sign. Bit of blood colour. Or a blue blood if you're royal.
There's a story to that too.
That's true too.
Royal blood.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mark Passio theory about extraterrestrial intervention in our species is why we're so. Why we don't really.
That's not a lapel mic, Luke.
Yeah, regularly. I'm your unidirectionalism. Okay, I'll talk about it. And then, we've got to find the venue, the right venue. Maybe, some tissues. Yoo-hoo, celebrations. I'd love to launch it at the Triffid. That'd be fun because I want to go back there, and it just sounds great in that venue. And it's not too big. If I can put enough people in it, it would be great.
Yeah,
put on a show.
Kind of get, like, if you can get 150.
150?
Something like that.
Yeah, if you get 3 bands with 400 people in there, the place is half full.
Mm. Yeah, you got to keep the springs clean.
Yeah, man.
What have I got coming up?
Any eucalyptus in there? No, just plain stuff. You got some stuff coming up?
Yeah.
Playing a gig?
Yeah, playing. We got some tours coming up. And then, so shout out for Blues Arcadia, 100%.
Yeah.
Check us out on all social media platforms. Who else?
Yeah,
What else
plugs,
do we know?
social media plugs. I've got a Facebook, I've got an Instagram, got a YouTube.
I'm Jez Plays Bass. Look me up. I play.
Oh,
bass.
here we go. Hashtag Less is More Games. Check that out. That's my video game company I started with 2 friends. So we got together, and this is before I went back to school. We, on the back end of an acid trip, well, actually in the middle of the acid trip, we got together. Just shout out to Milo and Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Yeah, and Anuki, Tristan. So Milo is a friend, and Tristan was introduced through another guy I'm living with now. And yeah, I love these fucking tissue things. Hang on, there we go. Yeah, Mr. James Van Twest introduced us to Tristan, and so Tristan is ex-Australian military. He was a signals man, so he's on a computer. He was fusing fiber optic cables together in Afghanistan, and then watched some people's mates' heads explode like melons, and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Subway. Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna go on the Subway mission. It's like actually a mission to go to the Subway. And then the boys got blown up in a fucking... He said no, and then the boys got blown up in a fucking roadside mine or some shit. And he sort of, PTSD'd out and went full-blown Rastafarian for a bit. And he still kind of is in a way. And, he still supports the boys, but, like, he's not about that kind of...
troops.
He's not about that kind of fight anymore, and got some real interesting insights from him and the world. And I've got a lot of time for individuals. It's interesting, I've noticed that when it comes to unplugging from the matrix, the actual real unplug, I've spent a lot of time being a barfly in pubs around the world and talking to like some random dude, and it's like, oh, what do you do? Oh, yeah, I'm a musician, I'm from Australia. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I was in the military. Oh, really? Interesting. Tell me about that. And some of the most interesting conversations has been as an individual barflying, and then finding some random people who might have had a different life, or definitely had a different life to me, but might have had a different life that they used to live in the past, and that experienced who they became and why they have their beliefs that they have now. And Yeah, so it's real interesting. But the three of us got together because we wanted to come up. We wanted to do something in business, and my dad did a coffee business, and I had this great idea for a coffee business, and then my mate Milo was like, "Oh, let's do it. Let's do a business plan. Let's do it. I'm keen." I'm like, "Yeah, but then we'll have to work in a cafe, and I don't want to do that shit." Yes. So, hey, go on and look at that. It was almost still drinkable.
Oh, just give me one tick.
Remember, they're really loud. That one's not loud. It's louder than you think, man. Tambourines are always a little bit louder than you think.
I like to chop wood. We're recording.
We're rolling.
I'm back.
Remember the cockroaches?
I was just about to say that beer.
So we were staying,
no.
Robbie. We were staying at this place.
Oh, it's so gross.
We were staying at this place.
Oh, so
And
gross.
we all we had a big drinking session the night before. And as I do, I'll have a beer that I'm like, right, this is the one that I'm going to have before bed, and then I'll drink, leave about half of it and fall asleep.
What?
Yeah, that's what I do. I'll leave
goes
about
flat.
half so that when I wake up in the morning with a hangover, it's like the hair of the dog is right next to me. After a night like that, that's what I do. So this
So
particular
no bubbles, no problem.
no bubbles, no problem.
No bubbles, no problem.
Cockroaches,
No hangover, no problem.
cockroaches, cucaracha, problemo.
You can
So
say
I've
that.
just-
Do you remember how it went down though?
Probably not, but the way I remember it is that you guys were already awake, and I've woken up, snuffled myself awake and gone, where's my, there it is. And I've just gone, taken a sip, and both Trickett and Byron have gone, Jez, no, cockroaches! And I'm like, and just as they've said that, I felt like the carcass of a couple of cockroaches hit my gums. And I've just gone,
Like baby, freshly bred,
tiny,
like
tiny,
this
oh
place
my
was
goodness. Tiny little German cockies, man.
this place
Infestation.
was a nursery.
Yeah.
It's an absolute nursery for
Ugh,
these things. So
sickening.
I've gotten up in the morning, dusty, got all these fucking things around, start pouring them out, and I'm just pouring out, man. Like you wouldn't believe the amount of cockroaches that are coming out of these things. I'm not talking one or two.
Oh,
I'm
it
talking
was hideous.
everything I tipped out had like 10 of these fucking things in them.
That's
And
what
I've
you
come
call
out
an
to keep cleaning up.
infestation.
Seen
Infestation
him.
of those little German cockies, man.
We slept on that floor.
Yeah.
And they slept on you.
I think I slept in the Mad Irishman's
They slept
butt
in
den.
your ears. They slept in your nose. They could have even slept in your punani.
Probably in our stomachs.
It's highly likely.
They might
highly
have
likely.
crawled down our throats and slept in our esophagus.
Yeah, don't mention the Germans on this podcast.
No, Jeremy and the Germans.
He'll go down a rabbit hole for sure.
But the good thing is that coming up in
You
this
can be
episode,
racist against
this-
them, and that's okay.
this episode coming
Yeah.
right up,
They've got a
maybe
history.
the first time that I don't mention Dr. Seuss. Watch me go.
I'd never got into Dr. Seuss.
Oh, I love it, man.
Okay.
I love it.
He just
I bring
fucking
it
did
up as much as I can.
Greatest intro of all time.
He just did it.
Cut into the.
He just did. You had to put the Seuss in there.
I
didn't
had
you?
to chuck the Seuss
You
in,
had
man.
to put the Seuss.
I had to go the Seuss. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, Rob.
I'll tell you what's interesting, if I can run with a thought here.
No.
Okay, I'll let it go.
Shut up.
Savage.
Just get that noodle and bash him.
Hit me in the head. That's what it's there for.
He's like the devil
That's for
himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Just grab that noodle. If he pisses you off, grab that noodle and just bash him.
There's this Halloween theme thing. There's so many weapons. It's like,
I don't think beating people over the head with a message ever achieved anything other than disruption and creating division in society.
Eat a steak instead. Much better than violence.
Or eat some plants like a gorilla would, and it gets big and strong.
I eat those too.
There you go. You got the. See, meat power can't even knock me out.
Hey, you want to do karate in the basement?
Yep.
Did we just become best
I'll
friends?
do karate.
Yep.
Now New Orleans is home.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
no,
New Orleans
it's
is
home.
home.
Definitely is. This is, you know.
That's a place that I have to go to, New Orleans. I
You guys
know it.
all need to come. Everybody needs
I
to
know it.
come.
Yep.
It's really just such fun. It's like professional. They're professionals at fun.
Mm.
Like there's music all the time. There's parades all the time. There's parties all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't go wrong anytime you come. Even in the dead of summer where it's just hot.
Mm.
It's still fun. You know, you can still have a good time. Especially as musicians, like you gotta see where that all comes from. It's really interesting. and it's really great.
Absolutely.
And you'll meet just lovely people that are like love to show you around. You know, that's
Cool.
like the coolest thing that we do
Genuine
is
human beings.
we love having people come and we have this little list of places we either give them or we like show them around. So like it's a great place to be a tour guide. You know,
Okay.
it's also quite small. So you can walk around. You can walk to the one side or the other side, at least in the downtown area, pretty
Yeah.
quickly. You know, so you don't need a car. I don't have a car.
Right.
I haven't owned a car since I was 18.
That's awesome.
Isn't anyone in the
You went to
city?
the city and
Yeah, you
then,
wouldn't need one in New York.
don't need
would
one
you?
in New
So that's a good thing, not to have a car.
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
It's lovely.
You've got to have a car here. Everything's so
yeah.
far apart.
Guess
It's
you need it. You definitely need it.
ridiculous.
here.
Like half an hour drive to a gig. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
standard.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
So I'd imagine that you'd probably have lots of drummers with cars though.
Drummers, yeah, they tend to have cars. They have the ones that have the cars. And you know, it's a pain for them too because you got to park in these crazy spots and you're always getting tickets, or you're getting robbed. It's another thing.
Tickets are getting robbed.
Yeah.
Is it quite violent? Like quite dangerous in terms of crime?
It's a lot.
Orleans.
There's a lot of murder. There's a lot of gang violence. There's a lot. You'll hear about a shooting every day. Almost every day. I mean,
Right.
I get desensitized to it, but it's
Sure.
all the time.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like. Oh, there is a. You know what? Yeah, it's fucking New Orleans. There's a lot of crime, but you know the petty crime is kind of just people being where they shouldn't be, walking around, you know, in the wrong place, and then the gang violence is bad, you know, but it's kind of only in one or two spots. You know what I mean? New Orleans is a very segregated city.
All right.
Yeah, right. So you have all your different
So
spots. for
you
different-
have your little spots, you have your spots that are, but then sometimes, like even in my neighborhood, there's been shootouts. You know,
Wow.
Have you heard it from your house?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow. All right, man. That's something that I've
pretty
just
wild.
never experienced. You know.
Yeah.
It's never ever.
it's happened once. It's just right in the middle of the street, and it's a pretty like really nice like up and not up and coming area, but like a nice neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's just two rival gang thing just started. Just young kids with guns.
What are the gangs? What are they called?
Place. I don't think it's like the Blood and Crip thing. It's just New Orleans gangs, just tiny little spouts, and it's all drugs and what they're running. And then, but the thing is, a lot of them, these kids they're kids. They're kids. Not old. They're not talking about anyone even past the age of 20. It's just kids with guns, and they get them. They rob the cars. All right, grab the gun. that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is. But as far as tourism goes, like you're gonna be safe as a tourist. Just be, have your wits about you.
Sure thing.
But
Use your
I've
brain.
never had I've never had a problem.
Touch wood.
Pretty sure it's made of wood.
And I've also, I'm late night as a musician there all the time. But I've heard of,
Yeah.
you always hear of it. I know a guy that we were kind of jamming on a gig, and he was walking back to his car, and he got jumped or he got robbed. I mean, you're a mark if you got a giant guitar in your back.
Yep.
We all have a ton of cash in our pocket because it's all cash.
All
So
cash.
you gotta have your wits about you, But there's more to it than that. There is that element to it, but the whole city as it is, it's beautiful, man. You say hello to everyone you see, and if you don't say hi, they're like, you gotta walk down the street.
It's so funny.
Hello, hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Internet. We're about to annoy you. The
Hope you like history.
the Elgar.
I love it.
The
I love it.
Elgar marbles were taken by Lord Elgar during the 19th century.
Lord Elgar. Who's Lord Elgar? Where's
Someone that Byron likes to shit all over.
Okay.
But Byron thought that Napoleon was the best thing since sliced bread, so we'll take his opinion with due caution.
All right.
So during one of several conflicts between the Greeks and the Turks, the Greeks were smashing up everything in the Parthenon on the Acropolis to break down for lime, and Lord Elgar took these important historical artifacts and brought them back to Britain. Byron, being the young, socially conscious fellow that he was, thought this was a terrible crime, even though Elgar had saved these archaeologically important things from destruction, and they're still in the British Museum, as far as I know.
What are these things?
What
What are these important things that were taken?
The Elgar marbles, big round stone sculptures that the ancient Greeks made, and the Greeks there.
Balls.
We're going to
Important balls. Important balls.
We're going to hear enough balls in the comments section after this, so don't get ahead of yourself.
Big important balls. Yep. Keep going.
Yep. So the Italian, the Greeks rather, were.
I'm just amused. That's all. The theft of big important balls.
Yeah, they were taken away and put somewhere where they'd be preserved, rather than just smashed up, thrown on a fire, and made lime out of. So,
Okay. And so you said it was the Greeks that were destroying it themselves. Is that
yeah,
what we said? Yeah, and so the
Yeah.
English have come in and taken it back to the museum
yeah,
and said,
And-
"Don't ruin it. We'll keep some of it."
yeah. Byron comes along afterwards, and like I say, he was a big Napoleon fanboy, and yeah, Byron's someone we could talk about for a long
Alex?
time. He's a horrible person. But he shat all over Elgar and thought that they should have been left there. And yeah, a lot of Greeks think that think they should be still there as well. And I'm of two minds. Maybe it'd be nice to give them back if they promised to look after them, but at the time, a lot of the contents of the Parthenon were being ruined, and that was just a matter of military necessity at the time.
I heard that a cannon went off inside it, or a gun was fired inside it, and part of it collapsed as well. Or
Well, that's the whole
is that
point of
true?
having an Acropolis, is having a militarily significant
of course,
place.
the
up,
highest point. Yeah,
so, in any military conflict, that's going to be something that happens.
Yeah,
For the
it's
flag.
always-
Pop the flag on top. Need a high spot. But you just converted me to radical feminism. Congratulations, Alex.
Oh, how did I manage that?
Bunch of blokes go to war over 2 big balls. Pretty stupid.
Was that all it took?
Yeah, he's pretty simple conversion there. Wow.
I'm going to start eating cheese. And,
Don't you eat cheese already?
Oh,
eat
yes,
cheese
I've
all the
already
fucking
have
time.
eaten
I love
cheese.
Yeah, but he's going to smash the patriarchy now.
Yeah.
You're going to object to an election on the other side of the planet, wear a hat that looks like a vagina, and scream helplessly at the sky. Because as we know,
I don't know. My mind has just gone. Yuck. 2
I
big
thought you liked
balls.
history.
Let's go.
Now
and
you're
fight
stuck
for
on
2
testicles.
big fucking balls.
I mean balls.
Yep.
Concrete balls.
Crazy. Us people.
Hey, isn't it funny that, like, you look at the anatomy of those Greek statues, because they've got massive balls, man. These tiny little peckers and gigantic balls on those statues. Do you think that's what Greeks actually look like? Or was that just a
big
statement?
balls?
Big balls, tiny cock, and a hat that looks like a vagina.
Well, the hat that looks like a vagina comes later, but this guy's going to be doing some research
Hey, we
for
should
us.
go around castrating all of those Greek statues. Take their balls.
Get variations with every.
Yes,
human.
I don't remember the particular winner of the Ig Nobel Prize for studying this, but the ancient Greeks had some odd beliefs concerning testicles, and that they somehow had a direct connection to the vocal cords, so that when they start to lower, it stretches out the vocal cords and makes the voice deeper.
Which, of course, is more powerful. It's more powerful to have a deeper voice than a higher voice. So,
Yes,
showing that these are very
and
powerful men.
because
Is this a theory?
uh,
Because it's all about this here, the Adam's apple.
well,
That's where
like
your
I
voice comes
say,
from. It doesn't come from down here. It comes from here.
Well, the ancient Greeks disagree with
the ancient
The
Greeks
papal
have theory.
castrati kind of fly in the face of that too.
I sing from my
suppose so.
balls because they're big. Big, big balls. Stay close to me.
Stay far from me.
Don't ever let them go.
Stay
Big,
far
big.
from me, but not too far.
Yeah.
Enjoy our yeast piss.
Amen. Cheers, motherfucker.
Gotta love the yeast piss. It's better than shit.
Would you like another non-denominational Jez brewed spit beer?
There has been no LSD used in the production of this video.
Yeah, well, put him on speaker.
Hey, you're a guest on the podcast, dickhead. What's going down?
The Scatology, the study of shit. Right now we're studying shit with Bizo. Who's got...
What the fuck are you talking about?
We're
Sunset
studying
fucking
shit,
Junkies, motherfucker. Album launch. 7th of September.
Hey, we're doing the podcast. Me and Jeremy and...
What fucking podcast?
Shit.
What are you talking about?
We're studying shit. We're studying
Scatology.
shit. You can't.
Studying shit.
Aren't you going to be on the podcast
And speaking
next
shit.
week?
What fucking I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know about that, man.
He's a good actor.
You guys are talking about studying shit.
Shit.
And you think you're questioning me.
I'm thinking about eating shit.
All right, man. Good talk. Drive
We'll
safe.
see you in a couple of weeks. Fuckface.
Yeah, just watch the road, man.
Yeah, drive safe. There's a lot of
Drive safe.
lunatics out there. See ya.
I got.
Oh, you've got a lock on that. Okay.
I got my kid
okay,
a
cool.
Play-Doh set recently. It came with like this Swiss Play-Doh knife. It's like this big motherfucking plastic thing with like you pull out your knife, you pull out your saw, you even pull out like a bottle opener, and you just fucking cut the Play-Doh up with it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I spent the last 2 days just playing with Play-Doh. It's been so good. For the last weekend, it's been really cool.
Awesome.
Just like we got these little molds of the houses, and because it was free, because I got it by jumping into a bin where I saw a Play-Doh kit that had a little tear in it. I'm like, I'm gonna grab that because that's free, and I know a couple of dudes that are gonna have a lot of fun with that. So yeah, we just played with Play-Doh all weekend. It's really nice.
Awesome.
Molds.
What'd you mold?
Like
what'd you make?
Like this set actually came with like actual proper molds. So like we made the house, but because it was free, I didn't care about mixing the Play-Doh, because when you got to pay for it, for me at least, my stupid brain, it's just like, oh well, if we mix it all, it's just going to turn into this rubbishy brown, and then we'll throw it away. But now it's like, yeah, it was free, who cares? So like a little blue door handle, a little pink door, green roof, some brown brick molds. It was fun.
But wouldn't it work out with Play-Doh when you roll it all together? It'd turn out like them old school ice creams that were like the.
Oh yes,
to start with,
the absolutely.
rainbow.
That's how it starts. That's how it starts. And that's the thing. Is this set?
Really?
This set actually came with like a couple of syringes that you squeeze the Play-Doh through it together. Yeah, squeezes like a couple of syringes, right?
Just straight in.
Straight in, man.
Straight into the bloodstream.
Squeeze the rainbow. And so, like, you can end up, like, we were just mixing all the rainbows together and teaching some very good habits. Just ease on up.
When you start to trip,
Yeah,
that's when you know you've had too much.
Exactly. It's like an arm bar.
It's too late at that point.
Yeah. But what it means is it's too late. Either dive straight into the trip or stop.
Just don't have any more, please.
Don't have any more of my stuff.
Why don't you just say, please, have no more?
Have no more. Yeah. But it was funny as fuck because there was this dude just noodling away on guitar. Like, okay, man, there's a whole backstory here. It feels like this particular trip felt like it was about 3 lifetimes of backstory, that the 8 of us around the table, it was like a meeting of the Eternal Council, right? And we're just talking all this shit and everybody's just blabbing on about what the fuck they've got to say. But I hear this guy, Uncle, with his head down on the table. I remember that happening 200 years ago with your soul. And like, it was just fucking this awesome trip. But there was this one dude that was just noodling away on the guitar, right? And it was really irritating me. Just playing covers, and he was really good. Like, there was nothing wrong with what he was playing, but there was something about him that I just didn't like. Like, I just had this intuition about the dude that it's like there's something dark and dirty about him that I really don't like. And I took a total negative liking to not a negative liking to him, like not a hatred of him, but like a total dislike of this dude who I'd never met before, that it felt like 500 years ago, maybe he fucked my wife or some shit, you know, and maybe that's what the problem was. I don't know. But what it really was, there was some kind of intuition. I picked up on some kind of body language about him that I just felt like he was dangerous and not a good person. And,
That's what you call tripping.
No one should be locked up for smoking weed. That's one of the most ridiculous things. Look at
That is ridiculous.
It's fucking absurd. Like, the United States got the world's largest prison population.
Burning the leaves of a plant.
for some plant that grows in the ground. You know, and there's like, I remember seeing one thing. I was talking about trying to trace cannabinoid receptors in genes in life forms, and so they were looking at barnacles, because apparently barnacles
smoke weed.
Barnacles.
Every day.
Well, I mean, maybe if you smoke weed every day, you become a barnacle.
Must be the ganja.
barnacles are the closest thing to ancient life form that exists on Earth. Right? Like in terms of something like evolution and species and stuff. The barnacles, they're
it's
like those
older
things
than
that grow on
plants?
the fucking side of boats.
Yeah, I know what a barnacle is.
Right?
You're saying that
They're a
a
mollusk,
barnacle.
aren't
They're
Is
one of
it
the most
older
ancient
than a
forms of
plant?
life form that is still in its the most ancient form of life that exists. Maybe not including the tardigrades, which we can't see
True story.
with the human eye.
Yeah.
Living muscle.
But the those life form, like birds have evolved and whatever you believe, but like the barnacle is the most ancient form of life, and they have
That still
cannabinoid.
exists,
They
is
have
what you're saying.
cannabinoid receptors.
All right.
Yeah, the human body has hundreds of thousands of
I'll ask
cannabinoid
Jeeves
receptors.
about that.
So next
Yeah,
time you
man.
go to the beach, make
Barnacles,
sure you
cannabinoid
give
receptors.
those
That's
barnacles a job.
New Jedi Academy gets one of his students who's actually Kalmarian, and then she fucking uses the Force to draw them out of her. Anyway, it's a fucking amazing series that goes into depth. There's the Jedi Academy trilogy from Kevin J. Anderson. So the last one was Timothy Zahn.
Jedi Academy games were fucking shit.
All
They
the games,
were
all the stuff
fucking
that
shit,
that you
man.
do in the games was also part of canon.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, because some of
That's
the
right,
games
man.
go into the different parts of the timeline and are surrounded around these different heroes, and what you have to do was part of the canon. It's part of the whole story. All gone, doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist
And so,
anymore.
and then what
Erased.
happens? So what we got this new movies of Star Wars, and so what is it? The Order. Okay, so apparently after the Emperor dies and loses control of his grand empire, that he was the whole reason it existed in the first place. Out of the dust of nothing, some new order rises up, which puts the empire, makes it look like a fucking anthill, and now we've got this giant fucking planet that blows up solar systems. Can you fuck off harder, cunts?
Can you fuck off harder, cunts?
Like, that is bullshit. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. This fucking giant power doesn't arise out of dust. It's dumb. The Empire, it took fucking a millennia for the Sith to get back in control again, and fucking Palpatine gets it done, and his own fucking, what's the undoing of it? His own fucking apprentice kills him and turns back to the light. And that's fucking Anakin, leaving Vader behind, turning back to the light side of the Force, and balance is restored. No, balance isn't restored because now we've got the Order, which is a bunch of Nazis blowing up solar systems. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Right? So dumb. That's one of the first problems. One of the biggest problems surrounds the character of Finn. I think it's Finn, right?
Who is Finn?
Finn is the dude who is the stormtrooper who
He's a
breaks...
token black.
Well, yeah, if you're a Democrat, right? He's or a Labor supporter. That's what they'd call a
I thought
token.
Lando Calrissian was the token black.
Well, yeah, right. Now we've got fucking...
Two tokens.
He's a good capitalist, though. He's running a whole fucking show.
That's true.
Um,
So really, one could say that he's a traitor to his Democrat roots.
Yeah. Nothing about
Yeah,
being
he
racist.
left the
just
plantation,
Disney.
bro.
Disney's,
So Finn's character...
Finn's
character
being
leaves,
racist
literally
with all
leaves
their
the plantation. He walks
tokenism.
away from the fucking stormtrooper and the... I'm trying to... I don't know. I can't remember the fucking
Might
actors'
cut that
names.
out, they might sue us.
You know the head evil stormtrooper
This is
in that?
not a plug for Disney.
No, fuck Disney.
This is not a plug for...
Walt Disney was okay, and then he froze himself in carbonite, and it's all gone downhill since then. But so Finn, the character of Finn, and there's the head stormtrooper is a female. For the record, I really like this casting. The woman who plays in fucking Game of Thrones.
The Queen?
No, the giant warrior.
Oh, yeah, Brienne of Tarth.
Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah.
The actress who plays Brienne of Tarth is the head stormtrooper in the new Star Wars.
Oh, is
you just
she?
never see her face because she's in her armor and shit. All right, now, if you follow the hero cycle, which is what Star Wars is fucking about, right, you've got to have your hero cycle. Finn drops out at the hero cycle halfway through. in the second movie, he like imagine if in fucking in the original 3 Star Wars movies, halfway through when Luke's fighting Vader, he just kills him and then they all just go home for lunch. That's basically what. That's what happens to the character of Finn. He in the second movie, he's supposed to fucking have his conflict. He has his first conflict, and then he goes on his journey. He starts his journey in the first one, and you know there's the call to action, and then there's the rejection of it, and then there's the fucking event that makes you go, I need to take this call to action. I should have listened to it in the first place. And then they act, and then they start their journey. That's the character of Luke Skywalker. That's what he literally does, right? It's the hero cycle. And then so Finn's hero cycle gets to the halfway point, and then it's over because he's defeated the boss. So now what?
Yeah, right.
Now he's fucking comic
It's
relief.
like when
now
you
he's
play-
literally a token black man.
What's that? What's that? Like the last. Perhaps the angels are the good aliens. The demons are the bad aliens. So the reptilians that want to enslave us, and the dog people from Sirius B. Apologies if you are a dog person from Sirius B. I'm sorry that I don't know the correct name. It's like saying black or African American. I'm just not sure what the correct terminology is. Okay, so I am sorry. If I have offended your star seed.
I think it's dirge is the proper pronoun. Dirge.
Dirge.
I thought political
dirge.
correctness had gone too far, but now now you're using appropriate terms for star seeds.
Yeah, well, are you
next level.
Are you a crystal, a rainbow, or an ultraviolet? I'm not really sure.
Did you just assume my galactic origins?
I did, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
I do not believe that Stanley Kubrick staged the fucking moon landing. But either way, I've got a really nice stamp. A 50-year anniversary stamp. I got a few of them. And coins as well.
It was one small step for man. One giant leap for conspiracy theory.
Hey, I like that one.
Flat earthers.
Fucking doesn't mean even.
If you look really closely at that,
real?
If you
Is
look,
space even real?
If you look
Robbie
really
Jobbie?
closely at that footage, you can see William Shatner taking a shit.
I got one foot on the platform, the other foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. It is our house in the New Orleans.
Can we talk about the Jews?
Yeah.
Seems a bit deep.
Go as deep as you want, dude.
I mean, like, where does that resentment of the Jews come from?
Resentment of the Jews?
Yeah, from
what, Germany?
Say
Well,
Germans.
it was rife in Europe.
Or wherever you may
it really
say.
was rife.
Well,
the anti-Semitism.
I can answer Dave's question.
Yeah, but I'd like to offer a little bit of insight before you do. That
of course you do.
Anti-Semitism was rife in Europe. That's why.
Since the 1300s.
Yeah,
or 1200s.
that's part of
pogroms
why,
against the Jews.
That's part of why the German concentration camps, where they literally melted Jews and threw their skeletons in pits.
6 million of them.
There's a reason why they were able to get away with that, while the rest of Europe just kind of didn't notice, is because this anti-Semitism was a real problem. It really contributed to the rise of the Nazis.
Yep.
But anyway, Rob, you had something to say too?
Oh, Dave, what was your question again? You said
I don't know, it was
what
like,
what contributed to it? I think that's what your question was. What contributed to it? A couple of things. Christendom, or the Holy Roman Empire, after Rome became Christian. They had a theory or an interpretation, like you've talked about historiography in the past, how people read history. They read the Gospels as though the Jews were responsible for killing Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's where the European anti-Semitism comes from, kind of at its root.
Yeah.
But
there's-
even that goes against the Bible, though.
There
'cause
are
the
other elements.
Bible does
What
not
does the Bible
teach
say?
anti-Semitism whatsoever. New Testament or Old Testament, you will not find any anti-Semitism whatsoever.
So
It was actually the Pharisees that were blamed for the killing of
Yeah, that's
of
right.
Jesus, not the Jewish people.
Which is a specific Jewish sect.
And all the Abrahamic promises, if you're a full Bible believer, all the Abrahamic promises, like what you're talking about, the wealth and the land,
Promise people.
and the blessings,
Because that's where the Jews stem from.
they've always, God's never cancelled that promise.
No, that's right.
If you're a believer in the Bible, that is.
That's right.
So
Well, if
God's
you're
never
Jewish,
cancelled that.
yeah, and like, because like Jesus is maybe at best an important prophet, but like it all stems
And
from
Jewish.
Abraham. If you're Jewish, and you're looking for, that's the irony, is that you're not looking for the second coming of the Messiah. If you're Jewish, you're looking for the first coming, because the Messiah hasn't come yet.
Yeah,
if you're
that's-
Jewish, and then these Jews have this like tremendous tradition of like learned back and forth discussion, like metered rational discourse. Like the Jews are renowned for it, like contemporary Jews, and that's right. You've got these like 1,000 years of pogroms against the Jews in Europe, and like here are these people of the book, like that have this tradition that they.
People of the book of the Christians. If
Well,
you're talking Quran, that's
Jews.
what Christians are referred to.
Well, the Quran's somewhat later.
Because that's different kind of anti-Semitism, the Middle Eastern version. It's different to the European one.
Yeah, but they're all Semites in that sense.
Yes, yes.
Forget what I was
Muslims
talking
and
about.
Jews are very
But like,
closely
like
related.
the Jews' persecution in Europe, and then when they're confined to, like
Their squabble is much older. That goes all the way back to Ishmael and Isaac.
Ishmael and Isaac,
the Muslim Jew thing.
Muslim Jew division. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ishmael and Isaac.
That's
and
where that
Isaac's
goes
the-
back to.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Much, much older.
Ishmael is the, yeah. But then Islam came about in the 6th century AD.
Yep, that's correct. Yep,
You know,
670, something around there.
something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows much about? Not for me. For Muhammad's life, like not much. Like even then, even with Muhammad, let alone Jesus, let alone going back further, the history of the Jews or whatever, or Buddha or whatever.
Are you casting a spell on me?
I'm just
No,
saying.
he's casting a spell on himself, actually. 'cause
What I'm
if he was
saying
in
is-
Saudi Arabia right now, and he just said Muhammad.
No, but the degree
trouble.
of
Oh yeah, you didn't.
Big trouble.
What
No,
is it?
but
You
I-
shake your head.
upon him, you'll-
no, but I live in Australia and I can speak freely.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just
With,
having a joke.
with respect for people, but like.
But do you want to
it's
play my
serious,
bass?
though.
Have you played my bass before? No.
I was going to talk
that
about
kind
Muhammad.
of bullshit
Yeah,
does
no, fuck
actually
Muhammad.
happen.
Muhammad's a piece of shit. Fuck religion. Religion's a piece of shit. You guys
I
have had
can't
a
even
really
remember what I was
good
going to
chat.
say about Muhammad.
Jeremy's burnt out.
Can I just put this here?
No.
Jeremy's no more religion.
Yeah. I'm jaded with this whole religion
Not even
bullshit.
Muhammad?
No.
Are we talking about Muhammad?
Fuck,
Well, are we
fuck
gonna-
Muhammad.
We're gonna.
Peace be upon his corpse. I don't give a shit.
Oh, fair enough.
Are we gonna talk about music?
And Jesus, you know, peace be upon his corpse as well, right? That's
Well, this is what I was going to say, right?
That's how I feel.
It's
and it's
like,
you
know
I've had enough.
what? That actually, if you look at it, the historical evidence for the life of Muhammad is very thin on the ground.
Oh, really? Really? Oh my God! Some other guy that claimed himself to be the prophet, the holy prophet. Some other dude that did it.
I don't know. I'm
It's
just saying.
And same with this.
It's
same
600
with
years
this whole
later from
chosen
Jesus.
people thing. It
But
just gets on my nerves.
Actually, I
How
don't
many
actually.
chosen people are there, and which chosen people is actually chosen?
Well, precisely,
Maybe they're all
Jez.
chosen. It
And I
just
think
starts
this
to
is the
Yes.
point. This
Yes,
is the
I would
point I'm
agree with that.
gradually
It starts to
circling
do
They're
like-
to.
all chosen.
This is where I'm trying to.
Chapter 1.
You've identified the very point that I'm eventually spiraling
We'll
down
fucking
to.
spiral around to it. What the
Okay,
fuck
I'm
are you
about
doing?
to put out some anti-Semite fucking propaganda.
Anti-Semite.
Yeah, I'm
propaganda.
gonna go like
Anti-Jew.
Yeah, what
I'm
do you call it?
anti-chosen people, so I'm anti
Yeah.
Jews being chosen people.
This is where we're spiraling towards.
There's no such thing.
Everybody has been chosen.
Everybody's been chosen, so nobody's been chosen. It's like
Everybody is a
when you
creator.
get into school, like we went to school in the 80s, right? And all the kids, if
In
you
and out
run the
groups.
race, you get a ribbon. So the ribbon doesn't even matter because we've all got ribbons. So stop pretending that there's something
All right.
better
Whether
or
you're
something
whether
worse.
you're-
It just
whether
drives me crazy.
Well, in
whether
and
you're a
out groups.
Christian, a Muslim,
just
or
drives
a
me
Jew.
crazy.
Whether
They
you're-
walked into a bar and they fucking killed each other.
Whether
What's
you're
your story?
whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, or a Jew.
Walked into a
if you
bar and they killed
believe
each
in
other. What's
any
your
of
fucking
those
story?
three things: Christianity,
Yeah.
Islam, or Judaism.
Walked into a
You're
bar.
all cousins of.
They fucking
Yeah.
killed each other.
Adam
Yeah,
and Eve.
this Adam and Eve.
No,
thing.
but
that
we-
doesn't make any sense.
Hang
at
on,
all.
but Jez, like, this is a topic that you know much about, and then
Yeah.
Rob and I want to get onto.
Yeah, but let's talk music. This is boring me.
All right. We're about to go into Muslim, Jew,
Yeah, it
and
started
Christian
boring me.
territory.
Jeremy,
okay, well,
Jeremy has been
You're getting
wounded.
controversial. I'll join in on a controversial conversation. No more of this.
He's
Well,
got
I've only got
religious wounds.
plain vanilla rationalist arguments to make, so we can just talk music if you prefer. But I was getting quite
I'll let
hot.
you finish your point.
I was getting quite hot for the. Okay, here's my main point.
But get to the point.
And I will. Okay.
Both of you.
So, despite which the whole Muhammad story historically purportedly occurred in 670 whatever, and the whole Jesus story happened in like, I don't know, 3 to 30.
Zero.
Okay. Both those stories.
It depends on who you choose to believe.
Both those
I think
stories.
it might have been
And this is my
negative
single
6.
point. This is my single brief point. Both those stories, despite their 700 years difference historically, are largely lacking in any historical collaborating evidence. And so there's very little historical evidence surrounding either of those two people, should they be even historical in the first place.
Same with
and their
Bodhisattva
events.
or-
Well, then you're going back another 700 years.
Yeah.
You know, and more or less, there's a more or less an equivalent level of historical evidence in terms of collaborating evidence surrounding those things. And I guess it's like the promulgation of ideas that we're talking about. Then we are talking about historicity.
I don't know, man. I think there's more evidence.
Historiography.
I think there's more evidence
The
of
study of how
Jesus
history is
existing
written. No, there's not.
than
There's
that
4
what there
books.
is.
I
of
want to hear what
David
Rob says.
Gilbert
I want to hear what Rob
existing.
says.
I'm sorry. I'm going to move the microphone.
I think
away
there's
from
I
my
think
face.
there's more evidence of Jesus existing than any of us three put together.
Okay. All right. Well,
100%.
you have just
You think they're
landed
gonna
on one
talk
of
about
my.
David Gilbert in 1,000 years?
No, they won't.
Fuck no.
No.
It doesn't. It
Well,
doesn't.
that's right.
So
That's
just
a-
because
that's our
I'm
restriction.
from here and go there, yeah, that's 4th
Yeah.
dimensional. Let's think 5-dimensional. That's even more fun.
Say,
So I end up
well,
here.
say
I
that-
travel back here. It doesn't stop these things from existing,
Well,
like the
well,
Back
it
to the
does.
Future
It can
principle.
do.
How
But
do
it
you-
doesn't. This
how
is
do you
the
go
this
back
is
to what-
potential universe theory.
How do you go back to what's already happened? It's
We
impossible.
can't. I don't think it's impossible. I just
Time
don't
travel,
know how
time
to do it.
travel is possible.
Mm.
So you can.
There's
point
the
being
idea
that
is
two
that
different beings can exist and can experience time at slower or faster rates.
Mhm.
That's been proven because of the speed of light.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
so,
Mhm.
point being
That's
is
right.
that someone
That's
can
right.
always go further back and take away your free will. They can go back and they can change the past before you and take away your timeline for the point
in one potential reality.
in as
Not
many
in all
potential as in
possible
infinite
realities.
potential realities. So there you got to ask
How
yourself
far
the
would they have to
question,
travel back in order
What
to
you're
do
saying
Only
is
like
someone could
a
jump
minute
in
before.
here
You'd have to
right
be like
now and
God or
fuck up our
Satan.
podcast because they don't like it 50 years from now.
How
That's
good
fucking
would that be?
impossible.
Yeah.
But it's impossible on this timeline.
So look, like you just got to ask yourself: does free will really exist? If anyone can take away your free will by just traveling like a minute, so say you've got this thing where you're like, okay, I can decide whatever timeline I want to go back, but then someone can travel a minute before you and then just change that. They could kill you, or they could do whatever it takes to just prevent
to
you from
erase
doing
you from a particular timeline.
it. To erase your free will.
Well, I think that
So does
there's
free will
probably
really exist?
potential worlds and potential dimensions wherein that's happened. But in this one, I exist.
Mm.
And maybe there's
Interesting.
been billions of me that have died at this particular point. Like it's the Rick and Morty principle, perhaps. You gotta
That
watch
should be
Rick
like a
and Morty, man.
scientific
Yeah, it should be.
actual term, the Rick and Morty principle.
The bloody Rick and Morty.
Oh, it's a
It's a very nihilistic.
very
nihilistic,
very nihilistic cartoon. It's hilarious, man.
It's almost
very,
nihilistic in
very
a comforting way.
I saw a guy show up to a party in my early 20s, sort of a, kind of, cool party, young people, generally a bit more liberal out there, whatever. And he's got a book, a horoscope book.
Mhm.
And I was like, you want to get laid. That's the only reason. Because he's got the book wanting to engage people in conversation about this book because it's just so amazing. No dude's into fucking horoscope.
No.
They're just
It's like
not.
dudes that are into yoga.
Exactly.
They just
Except yoga's
trolling for
beneficial.
pussy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100%. So when I see that sort of stuff, I'm sure there's an equivalent. Like women see other women do similar kind of transparently hunting style behavior.
Sure.
And they just kind of roll their eyes and go, oh, God, this fucking girl, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
But guys like that I've seen, I've just been like, oh, that he's not a person, actually. He's just a wanting to get laid machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's he's a robot trying.
Ow, sex machine.
Is this what'll do it? This fucking horoscope book?
I have a book on my shelf called Sun Signs
And
by
you
Linda
got
Goodman.
yourself some pussy, didn't you?
One.
Exactly. One for a long time.
One
with
for a
lot of
long
kids.
time. But that wasn't part of the
Sun Signs. It got him laid, man.
That,
Got him a family.
That was not part of the
Was that your
the process of
exegetical
courting.
analysis of the This book got me laid. The end. Interesting,
shit.
Rob. This is supposed to be a 3,000-word essay.
I'm not talking about predicting future. I'm more interested from the personality side of things.
It's only 5 words. This book got me laid. But,
I
that'll
don't
work.
think that book got me laid, but
Okay.
I do have that on my shelf. Yes.
So what's it about?
Oh, Gemini, Cancer, Capricorns.
No.
A crusty old jism-filled tissue.
No, actually, I'm into the no fap thing. I have been for a while, and
So you must have some night visitors.
No, I don't get that either.
So no fap, you mean no wanking?
That's
And
correct.
by night visitors, you mean no wet dreams. Okay. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
interpret
I don't
this
get
language.
either of them. So,
Is that because the English came and stole your balls?
No, they're still there. It's just they don't seem to be doing anything of particular use.
Right.
No pollinating.
Fuck pollinating. No,
What led you to the no fap thing? That's really interesting to hear.
He was brought up a Baptist.
I was brought up a Pentecostal. I was taught that it was evil.
Well, most people are, but I
We're
suppose.
getting a lot of comments.
I hope so.
Yeah, good.
Especially from
Fuck you.
especially from the religious folk.
Anyway.
No, it's just that it's just a matter of scientific fact that that we put a great deal of our energy into reproducing, and if you humans aren't set up for video streaming pornography
You don't have to do
and
that to wank, though.
constant masturbation and
Constant masturbation.
Well, that's an addiction. I'm
Yeah.
not. I wouldn't say that I'm like that.
Probably
fair
getting an
enough.
infection too.
Anyway,
Fair enough.
well, do you think humans are set up for no masturbation then?
I think for most of human history that humans have probably had more important things on their plate like surviving and gathering enough nutrients and all of that sort of thing, when the possibility to procreate comes along, then then we're prepared to invest those sort of things. But
I can't agree with you that sex has always only been used for procreation.
well, I don't think it is either. But if you're in a position to have non-procreative sex, then you're doing much better than a lot of the world's population has been, and you're probably getting the nutrients and minerals and all of those sort of things that go into ejaculation coming straight back into the system.
As are we now.
Are we?
We're in a position that we can easily access those nutrients. So we're definitely we'd be in the top 10% of the world, even though
probably top 1%
top
in
1%.
Broadly speaking.
Mm.
So I think the question is how much more could be accomplished if
wanking only takes like 5-10 minutes though.
Yes, but
ideally,
clear the pipes every
ideally, but
what Alex is saying, if you
is
don't mind
Alex
me.
saying this?
Oh, what's Alex saying? Tell me what Alex is saying. I want to hear this.
You're saying you're talking about nutrients. So don't fap unless you eat first.
Yeah, get your veggies. Do you eat meat?
I eat quite a bit of meat.
Me too. Get your meat, get your protein, get your vitamin B12,
and then
all
fap
that
away.
Sort of shit and fap away. But I agree that it's not necessarily a good thing for the human psyche to have porn on tap.
No,
I don't think
I agree with you there. It's not something that we're set up to do.
Mm.
And my own experience working in mental health is that is constantly dealing with young men who have not addressed this issue and are failing to get their lives together, and
there's a lot of weird shit too.
And none of my former colleagues who for the most part were housewives and the like are in any position to tell them that.
Mate, I've worked in a factory. I remember people coming up and going, "Oh, here's a girl sucking her horses. You know what? Check this out." No thanks, buddy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird, perverted shit out there. Please don't watch horses and bestiality and stuff. I don't understand it. Don't understand it.
Yeah,
if you're into it, leave a comment.
The constant
like and subscribe.
The constant video streaming.
Leave a comment in the comment section.
That's out there, man. It's out there.
The constant video streaming of pornography has taken things to an entirely new level, and having dealt with young men who are unable and unmotivated to rectify their own lives, it's a difficult question to broach, but it is an important question to address. Is do you or do you not think that the fact that you're providing the sensory inputs that make your stupid monkey brain think that you're Genghis Khan, does that or does that not make you perhaps a little bit complacent? where you would otherwise benefit from being not so complacent.
So are you saying that you do better things with your time and put better input into your brain? Or are you saying something else?
Well, I'm saying it's entirely possible to do better things with your time and put better things into your brain. I'm not saying that that's necessarily what's going to happen if you're going to find some other degenerate activity or thing.
That's exactly where my mind's going, Alex, is that I think the problem is less with wanking than with, like, there's a deeper issue there. If you spend all your time wanking, watching Pornhub or whatever, there's something deeper that's at fault. Rather than, like, what about your prostate? You know, are you worried about your prostate health? Like, it's kind of important. It's an important thing to...
Yeah.
I think it's an important thing to clear the pipes, to be honest. There's worse ways to go about it than just having a wank, right?
Okay, do the pipes not clear themselves?
Just cleared my pipe.
Well done. Do the pipes not clear themselves of their own accord? Because every couple of days, the spermatozoa that built up in where they'd usually reside, they just expel themselves through ordinary urinary activity.
I don't think they expel themselves in my experience, man. I just know how.
So why aren't mine the size of fucking tennis balls by now?
Hornier and hornier
I've had
and
wet
hornier and
dreams.
hornier and hornier. Yeah, I've gone times where I've been anti-fap, right? And I just end up having a dream.
Cream in the pants.
Yeah.
Wake up.
I'd rather go in a tissue than have to clean that shit up at night.
It comes out. Whether you like it or not.
Well, I'm still waiting for that, but...
But I've got a wife, so...
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to really stress there.
And she's quite happy not to have me have wet dreams. That's great. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun never shines. I'll shiver whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun never shines. I'll shiver the whole feeling inside. She feels them blurred as one. Desire, at first sight falls in love. I don't know. Is this a good feeling? Was it good feeling? Yeah, I don't know. Was it good for you? I've seen you all over YouTube.
That's, everyone's all over YouTube. There's a video on YouTube.
TV now, man.
There's a video on YouTube of a dude staring into a lamp for 15 minutes until he goes blind.
Yeah. People want to watch it. They click on it.
But that's what I mean. Like, any idiot can be YouTube famous. We're just talking shit, man.
That's what we do professionally.
We're drinking a non-denominational, unnamed, unbranded lager of some
I made
kind.
it myself, actually.
It's got a little touch of
my
Jez's
thing.
spit in it, accidentally.
And a touch of...
It's only a
Moonchild. Eliester Crowley.
Is it really?
It is a novel that he wrote.
I'm gonna
I don't
download
have the
that.
novel.
It's
on
the
that.
only
I'm gonna
novel that you
download
wrote,
the
I
novel,
believe.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you have that I don't.
I
I've got
I want
15
that.
novels.
This
I'm gonna get that on the
All my stuff is
Audible.
this is the story of a guy. It's possibly a little autobiographical.
Oh, I've got a
Probably.
Stephen
It's a
King
story
one.
of a guy who tries to conceive a child through gay anal sex and magic.
That is a little autobiographical.
That's how it happens, kids.
He was into that sort of stuff.
He did.
Was,
In the wrong
he
time.
was kicked out of
magic.
Sicily by Mussolini
Yeah.
for being too much of a badass.
Mussolini.
Yeah.
Said
You
this
know,
guy's.
you can't stay in my country
this
because
guy's
you're
too-
a fucking freak.
You're too dangerous, you freak.
Mussolini was the kind of guy who would just whack someone, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't
but he
whack
didn't-
Aleister
whack
Crowley,
Aleister
man. He's too
Crowley.
high profile.
That's it.
Wow, he couldn't
He
be
was
whacked.
too high profile for Mussolini to kill.
That's impressive in its own
It
right.
is indeed.
Because he was
So
a whacker.
how's the book? What's the book about? The guy's trying to conceive a child through gay sex, which that is actually how this fella lived, and magic.
That means
Gay
the bum.
sex. Yeah, straight up the bum with a little bit of magic, and you'll get a dude pregnant.
Yeah.
He truly believed that that was possible.
Well, read the book if you want to find out.
Yeah, I'm going to get that on Audible.
Moonchild.
I listen to books while I'm driving.
Why isn't it called Bum Babies?
Because it's
kids
not PC,
Oh, shit.
man.
That's
Fuck.
And Aleister Crowley was.
He was
It is
all about
called Bum
being PC.
Babies.
Yeah, yeah.
The,
He
you know,
used to
Flash
eat-
and the
he
Moon,
used
man.
to eat shit. as
Flash
well.
and
He
the
was.
Moon.
He's
Moonchild.
like. He's like
Doing the
Gigi
moon.
Allen, man.
Oh,
He's
Lord.
Gigi
It
Allen
is
character.
Wolf of Wall Street
Neighbour.
with Leo and Scorsese doing like a flawless Brooklyn accent. Like,
Cool.
incredible, man.
So she's gone Kylie Minogue, eh? Starting to blow up from Neighbours. Oh, no, I think Kylie was Home and Away, wasn't she?
No, Kylie was Neighbours, man. I
Oh,
know
Neighbours,
Kylie,
okay,
trust me,
yeah.
I know my Kylie.
Kylie's Neighbours too.
But no, Margot Robbie, I think safe to say, is bigger than Kylie ever was. Like, Margot Robbie is...
Bigger than Kylie ever was.
Dude, Kylie was never huge in the States.
Dude, I got to die in New
Pretty
Orleans.
amazing.
I
Yeah,
think I'm
it's,
going.
Sounds like
I'll
it's
tell
a
you
great
what,
place to die.
I think that's where I'm
it's a
gonna
good
go.
place to go.
Parade time.
It really is. You can just, it's a party. It's a party, and that's the way everything is there. And I mean, even with all the strife that a lot of these people, a lot of these poor folks deal with,
He's coming.
the deaths, they still just they celebrate life, you know, and it's amazing to
good
see.
way
And
to
it
deal
really
with
puts
death.
you in a mood, man.
Right on.
Like you can be like in a weird mood and be walking down like, you know, you're kind of in. I've had times where I've had bad gigs and you're walking out of it and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh. And then there's some second line walks by you or a parade or just someone you meet on the street and you're just like,
Takes you.
it's amazing. The place is fucking magical. So y'all gotta come and visit us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We got a place to
Definitely.
stay. We got an extra room, and I can get you
Oh,
gigs
man.
too.
Right
Look at
on,
that.
man.
Come on.
Oh my god.
I'd play with
How
anyone.
good would that be?
I can
Play
sleep.
with me.
I know,
damn
I'd do
it.
it for sure.
I'm big enough to
Can't even tell us apart by our accents.
Although,
If they all sound the
Apparently.
same too, that's right.
Apparently, everything sounds the same.
Too fucking right, mate.
too fucking right.
What footy fucking team do you go for?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the main difference.
Fucking footy.
What's your fucking footy team?
Footy. I go for the fucking Socceroos, mate.
You're fucking Socceroos.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Your guys'
No.
accent sounds so good on
No, mate. Nah, cunt. Nah.
Go the Cowboys.
But nah.
Nah.
Yeah, but nah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
no.
no, I was going to ask you.
That's great. I was gonna ask.
It's going to ask you.
Gonna ask you.
What were you going to ask?
Gonna ask.
What were
I
you
was
going to ask?
you,
Captain Cambridge?
Captain Cambridge.
Captain Cambridge.
I forgot.
Take it off airplane mode.
Coming across very, very boring right now.
Yeah. Well, you can just fix it in post.
But yes, for the folks at home, we're planning on having mostly musical guests,
Yeah, and talking about music.
but it would also be nice to have others.
Oh, of course. Talking with who? Fucking mongrel dog cunts.
You're proud of it.
Totally. 100%.
Good. I like it. That's why we're friends.
That's a sign of mental stability.
100%, for real.
I don't want to pretend to talk jive.
Man, that's lions in the park right there.
bro. 100%, man.
That's why I carry a knife in my pocket.
Shit, dog.
Damn.
Dang, dog.
Gotta talk jive,
Yeah,
break
yep.
AI.
Yeah,
This
yep.
is like a Darrow
yep.
version of Jive.
The
Darrow Jive.
It's funny because it's true.
Gold.
I hail from Inala. You hail from Acacia Ridge.
Just over the
Just over the
stone
fucking,
throw.
over the fucking cunting fucking road, mate.
I was born in Cambridge, which is like the fanciest right there.
It's a sign of
I'm serious.
pharmaceutical drugs then. That's the only 100% for real, dog.
Full fucking real.
Double dang.
Oh shit.
Double dang, dog.
Paul. Paul show.
The shiznam is.
Mm-mm.
Amen, brother.
Slapping the titties.
Oh, that's lions in the park.
You
In
got
my
your knife?
Fucking pocket, brother.
I used to have a bit about that.
For real? For real? For real? Yeah.
Rach probably doesn't get the reference, I'm
No,
not sure.
totally lost on me.
Yeah,
If you get the reference, you'll be pissed.
Yeah,
yourself.
yep.
100%.
100% for real. 100%. Dang, dog.
Oh, nothing.
Double dang, dog.
There's a midnight special. Shine a light on me. There's a midnight special. Shine a light on me. There's a midnight special. Shine another light on me. Yonder come Miss Rosie. How the world did know. By the way she wore an apron.
I'm going to give you a very quick pop quiz. Now, this is one that I do all the time at home.
Don't know. Don't
Correct.
know. Don't know. You bump it off your head. Don't know.
Oh, you've got to go like this.
Don't know.
I do that at home all the time. What about this one?
don't know.
What about this one? Ready? I'll
And
put the
this is
mic.
another one where facial expressions come into it because you can be, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm annoyed or can I don't know.
All right. This is
That's like your face becomes the inflection in your voice.
this is the big test. Okay. I'll put the mic down.
Can I understand your accent? Nice goal.
I thought that. I thought something like.
This is nice. Nice. Goal. Same. Same. This is meat.
Is it?
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you mean?
No, I just said nice meat.
Nice meat. I'll say stop.
At my book.
At my dick.
Really?
Yeah.
That in lesson 3.
Oh yeah, I
I
understand.
guess
That.
it's you asked, didn't you?
I wasn't there the night
I
you
picked it
lost
up.
your pants. Never seen
So
you.
Scatology, Jeremy, episode 12,
Episode 12, man. We've made it.
XII,
Yeah.
going back to our roots.
That's it, man.
Two dudes
Having a chat.
speaking,
Scatology with Jez and Jobbie. Here again.
speaking some shit.
That's it, man. Good times. Just let me pour a beer. You keep talking.
Pour your beer. So, what a day we've had. I think it might be a full moon.
I can Google.
Haven't been able to contact anybody on the phone at all.
Maybe my phone company cut me off again.
Maybe we're in the apocalypse.
Yeah, the rapture. We're the ones that were left behind. Wouldn't that be cool, man?
Everything's quiet and eerie.
Exciting times. Apocalypse now. Apocalypse Now.
Hope not.
Number 1.